Hey up everyone, how's it going? This is obviously Taffs World Cup vlogs, and now we're at the end of the second round. Obviously I didn't have time to put a vlog out yesterday, unfortunately, work and stuff like that. No rest for the wicked and all that bullshit, obviously. I just thought I'd just do a roundup of the second round, just go through the games and basically say how I feel, whether each team deserved to go through, whether the other team, made a good account of themselves and all that kind of stuff. Basically, if we're looking at this now, we've got Brazil ended up beating Chile on penalties. Now, obviously, Brazil, the tournament favourites, the hosts, expect a second round against a team that usually does well against them. This would be the time where they really have to step it up, but they haven't really stepped it up all that much, have they? They got a decent win against a team that are being investigated for match fixing this World Cup, which is, an atrocity, basically. Obviously, match fixing at World Cup is the worst, and to think these players were moaning about their bloody bonuses beforehand, it's like, surely, the mobsters are getting you to bloody match fix, or they're going to be paying you enough money as it is, But obviously, no accusations made until it's been, not so much accusations, obviously the accusations been made, but I'm not going to say an awful lot until it's proven, But yeah, Brazil went through on penalties, very lucky in the end, and the big man Neymar had to step up and do it for them again. Colombia quite comfortably beat Uruguay 2-0, according to the scoreline. Colombia playing the football they have been playing all World Cup. Uruguay blown away by what Colombia had to offer, but then when they did contribute something themselves, they didn't step up and score the goals. And obviously, without Suarez, this World Cup was going to end sooner rather than later for Uruguay anyway. The way, with what happened with Suarez, of course. That was last Saturday, obviously. Going into Sunday, sorry, it was Netherlands who beat Mexico 2-1 in more or less the last kick of the game, near enough. That was a bit of a gutter for Mexico. I think Mexico had a good game in that one. But Netherlands, you always had the sense that they were going to go on to win it anyhow, so there was no major shock for me personally. So the other game on Sunday, Costa Rica winning on penalties against Greece. Now, if Costa Rica didn't go through, the guy that got himself sent off, I tell you what, right, I don't think you could ever be more gutted with yourself about anything. So he's got to be so happy they went through in the end. But I felt it for Greece because they worked hard to get back into the game. But I always fancy Costa Rica to go through anyway. So, to be honest with you, all the teams that I felt would go through did go through in the end. Obviously your heart will tell you one thing, your head will tell you another. Every team who I felt in my head would go through went through. But in my heart, I had a feeling like the USA and Chile. I had a feeling about Switzerland as well. But your heart tells you, you think these teams might be able to step it up enough to see off the stronger opposition. But then moving on to like France, the first real game where you thought, oh my God, what's going on here? Why ain't they bloody scoring more goals? I mean, it took them. It took extra. I'm sure it did. Did it take extra time for France? I'm sure it did. Oh no, they left it late, didn't they? It was 0-0 for a lot of the game. They left it late. You'd have expected them to have seen Nigeria off a lot quicker than they actually did. After the way they've been playing, the goals they've been scoring, you would have thought, this is just going to happen. They're just going to win 3-4, maybe 5-0. They're going to blow Nigeria away. They didn't blow them away. They won 2-0, which would suggest a comfortable win, not an overly amazing win, but a comfortable win, which it really wasn't. It's the same with Germany and Algeria. I mean, that went to extra time, and did it go to extra time? I'll tell you what, right? There's just been so many games going to extra time and stuff like that. You just don't know what. Yeah, that one was extra time. I do apologise. I had to double check that. Germany winning it in the end. There's a few games that went to extra time, and you felt that the other team, could go on and win this game. Germany should have beaten Algeria easily. Nothing against Algeria, obviously, like, you know. I mean, they've made a major account of themselves this tournament. But for Germany to have to go to extra time against Algeria, you just wonder what's going to happen when they come up against France. I got the feeling. I'm going to go into the quarterfinal games and tell you individually how I think they'll go. I don't think there's any point in me putting out a blog. Obviously, there's not going to be nothing for me to blog about tomorrow. I may as well wait till Sunday. Oh, well, actually, no, I'm on a stag weekend, funny enough. So this is going to be my post-second round pre-quarterfinal blog now, to call it that. On Monday, I will then produce a blog to sum up the quarterfinal, because obviously the first semi-final is on the Tuesday. So we'll go into the quarterfinals when I finish talking about, obviously, the second round, because I've still got to talk about the final two games. Argentina, I mean, oh my God, how close was that? That was a shit game. But then they just scored. They just 8-0 in the last minute. Well, not the last minute, but it was right at the end. Messi, whenever he's got the ball, you never discount the possibility of what Messi can produce. And he just found a pass. You just found the pass. And Di Maria took his shot, and he took it really well, wrong foot in the keeper. But Switzerland, didn't they score right at the end? The header hitting the post, coming back to him, and he didn't realise it was coming back to him. And oh my God, absolutely unreal, like, you know, absolutely unreal. But obviously Argentina went on, they won. You thought, here we go, extra time penalties and all that, this could be, but no, they won it just, you know. So it's the same with them. They come up against the Belgians, but were the Belgians all that much better? 0-0 full time against America. I mean, they scored 2, but America could have won it. And right at the end, obviously the offside flag went up, and I made a point about this on Facebook. What if he puts that in and they rule it out for offside, Belgium go on and win? That would have been the biggest uproar of any decision on this World Cup. There's been a few questionable ones, obviously, like the opening game gave us like some of the biggest questions about the officials. But this year, if USA had been, if that American bloke had put the ball in the net, and he got ruled out for offside when he was a good 2 to 3 yards on, that would have been absolute uproar. And I say the Americans as well, they don't like getting cheated out of things. I mean, it's one thing if they're beaten fairly. You know, you tend to find that Americans can be pretty gracious, you know, in their defeat. But if they'd have lost because of a cock-up like that, of that magnitude, I mean, wow. I mean, thankfully, you know, to save anything like that from happening, the bloke put it over the bar, you know, because he completely miskicked it. Belgium were the better team of the two. America were a team that didn't deserve to lose because of how well their players played against the superior Belgium team. But Belgium still went on to win as you would have expected them to. But whenever anything goes to extra time, you never expect anything to happen. As soon as extra time starts, that's it. It's like a lottery then, as far as I'm concerned. But I think Belgium are starting the wrong players. I think their manager needs to take a look at especially the game yesterday. And he needs to take a good look at these players and think, well, wait a minute, Morales has got to start for one. Lukaku's got to start for another. You know, he plays them players. I tell you what, he plays the right team against Argentina. I can see Belgium going on to the semi-final. But we're going to come on to the quarterfinals now. First one, Brazil-Colombia. Brazil have been very unimpressive this World Cup. Even though they've won, well, they haven't won all their games, but they've got themselves to the quarterfinal. I think they've hardly eased their way into the quarters. I think Colombia, with the type of football they're capable of, could beat them. But if Brazil step up, Brazil will be the favourites. But it might be worth a cheeky bet on Colombia because you could get good odds on them. France and Germany, I think if France play a good game of football all round, they'll beat Germany because they'll have the firepower to do it. Germany don't look like they got an awful lot of firepower. They haven't really got recognised strikers starting for them up front, which I think is going to be a big problem for them. You can't have attacking midfielders playing as forwards for you. Attacking midfielders because they play behind the strikers, not because they play as strikers themselves, or just a hope that they'll just pile into the box randomly and just get you a goal. It worked against Portsmouth, but they've been unimpressive since then, as far as I'm concerned. So if France come out all cylinders firing and don't leave themselves open at the back, I can see them beating Germany. So for me, it could be a Colombia and France an upset on Friday the 4th of July. A big upset, if it would be if Colombia and France do go through, but I think I got a feeling it's going to happen. Going on to Saturday's games, and I'll tell you what, right, this is so close. I mean, the expected wins are Brazil, Germany, Netherlands and Argentina. So you'd have Brazil, Germany and then Netherlands versus Argentina as your semi-finals. I'll tell you what, with the teams that they're playing, Argentina could come unstuck against Belgium, and Costa Rica have beaten Italy, beaten Uruguay, and obviously Greece they struggled against. If they bring their game that they played against Italy and Uruguay to Netherlands, they could upset Netherlands. But the one decisive team that I felt that have been in this World Cup so far has been Netherlands. So I would expect Netherlands to go through, but you never know. Costa Rica, you know, they've upset a lot of people, but it is the type of thing where, you know, it's been a wonderful journey, but this is usually the kind of time that those types of journeys end. So, you know, if you fancy picking up some money and, you know, the upsets happen, you could go Colombia, France, Costa Rica, Belgium, which would be pretty bloody mental, because I got a feeling then that you could actually have a Colombia and Belgium final then, you know, or even a France-Costa Rica final. But I think the first day the upsets could happen, Colombia and France, but the second day I don't think the other ones are going to happen. I think Argentina will step up against Belgium because they haven't had any formidable opposition yet. Switzerland, I think, was a bit of a wake-up call for them. Belgium, a more superior opponent, in my opinion, may end up giving the Argentinas a major run for their money. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm going to put my neck out on the line. I'm going to say Colombia to beat Brazil, France to beat Germany, Netherlands to beat Costa Rica, and Argentina to beat Belgium. That's how I feel it's going to go. That's what the head tells me. The heart tells me it could well be a Colombia, France, Costa Rica, Belgium semi-finals. But it's going to go either way, I think. I think if you are a betting man, you are looking at goal scorers, you're looking at Neymar, Benzema, Van Persie and Messi as an accumulator for any time scorers. And I think they will, you know, they're the big players. That this is the period of the World Cup where they have to step up. If they are to do well, these are the players that got to step up for these teams. So if they do step up, those four could be the winners of these games. You know, if Neymar steps up, Colombia could be seen off. But if you are also a high stakes betting man, you would go James Rodriguez for Colombia again, or maybe even Martinez or Ibarro. But no, I think Neymar. I think Brazil and Colombia is going to be both teams to score over 3 goals or more. Neymar's going to get a goal in that game. France is going to be both teams to score over 3 goals. Benzema's going to be a goal scorer. Netherlands, I think, is going to be not both teams to score. Under 2.5 goals. Netherlands are going to win the game, I think, 2-0. I think Van Persie is going to get either both or one of those goals. And I think Argentina is going to be both teams to score over 2.5, and Messi's going to get a goal. But Argentina to win. So they're the ones to go for. Colombia, I think, actually, I didn't say would win. I think Colombia are going to see Brazil off. I actually really feel that Colombia are going to see Brazil off. Anyway, that's going to round up the quarterfinals. Obviously, you know, if the predictions go the way I think they're going to go, it's going to be Colombia, France, Netherlands, Argentina. It could be Colombia versus France on Tuesday the 8th of July, and then Netherlands versus Argentina Wednesday the 9th of July, and then Saturday and Sunday is the third place playoff, and then the final respectively. So, the best World Cup I've seen since, I'd say, 2002. 2006 was decent, but 2002 was better. 98 was predictable for France, obviously. 2010 was crap because there was a lot of boring games. This World Cup is absolutely phenomenal at the moment. Probably my favourite of them all. So the quarterfinal stage, I think all 4 games are going to be classics. So don't miss any of them. And if you're liking these blogs, don't miss any more of these blogs. And pass it on to some friends. Give me a like on the video as well. And you know, obviously, you know, that helps our YouTube channel if I get likes and stuff like that. So I'll stop bimbling on, if I wasn't going to get a dislike in a minute. So Cheers guys, and it's cheerio for now. Thanks very much.